All right, full body TRX today. I'm calling this a little bit more on the intermediate advanced side, mainly because of the pacing. We're gonna be moving a lot faster than my previous workout videos, but still honor your body as always. To start, we're going to have the tabs or just at the short length. All right, so handles in your hands. You're gonna start with your favorite squat position. Elbows are bent just in front of your ribs. You're gonna find that long line at the top, equal weight down through your feet, and we're gonna go right into our squats. Feel free to readjust your feet, meaning parallel or a turnout. But I want you to find that connection down through that tripod foot. And feel those shoulder blades kind of pull apart each time you squat down. All right, so we're trying to find that space in your back. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Now go ahead and squat all the way down. Can you go all the way down to the floor? And now I want you to just shift your weight from right to left. Trying to find a little bit more range in the ankles, maybe a stretch in the calves. And kind of let the knees go back and forth. Maybe even let your arms go straight. Again, just find some type of stretch. Now get yourself set up again and go ahead and stand it all the way up. Let's do that again. So back to those squats. Finding that slight hip extension at the top and that chest open. So we're drawing those shoulders out of the ears, especially as you come up. Let's do 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. You're gonna go back down again and then find again that same kind of shifting from right to left, maybe even adding a little side bend or twist to your upper body. And then allow the feet to maybe roll in, roll out. That might change the stretch. So go ahead and find center again, and then just pull yourself all the way up. Hopefully you felt the legs a little bit kick on. So right into some rows, walk your feet in a little bit, zip the legs up together, starting with the elbows bent in narrow, let your arms go straight, you fall back, and then low row yourself up. So feel as though those elbows are dragging down towards your hips, even as the arms go straight. Your pubic bone is kind of looking up at your anchor point. And your legs are strong. So the rest of your body is just doing a plank. You've got 3 and 2 and 1. Now let's go for our mid row. So palms angled at kind of a 45. So we're halfway between a low and an upright, a high row. Maybe feeling a little bit more back of the shoulders, upper back here. And make sure that those pinkies are wrapped around the handles. Let's do 3. Legs are strong. 2 and 1. Let's go right for the high row. Elbows reach across the sides of the room, just like your pull straps too. Think pubic bone forward, base of the ribs are in. Hang in there. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Pull yourself all the way up. Separate your feet a little bit here. Press down into the handles with straight arms. Nod your chin. Roll yourself out. Just find this forward fold here and then let the knees bend. Let your body kind of sway from side to side. And just breathe into those tight areas. Maybe even sway the hips from side to side. And then go ahead and just find center again. And then just roll yourself all the way up, up, up. All right. Turn around, face away from your anchor point. Find the top of your, plank. Legs are zipped up together here. And then find a punch out through the fist. Sternum is pulling back. And just lift the heels up and then lower the heels down. Just a little heel lift and lower. Feeling that arm to back connection here. Space between ears and shoulders. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Now keep the heels lifted. Forward lunge. Doesn't matter which side because we are going to alternate. Try to find like a toe ball heel connection down to the floor. Just like you're articulating with that foot. My right foot doesn't want to do it. Find that stretch through the chest as you lunge forward. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Step it all the way back up. Everybody step out with your right foot first. You're gonna lunge down. Now side bend over to the right. Make that left arm longer than your right arm. And then come back to center. Press yourself back up. Left foot out. Drive the chest through the arms. Side bend up and over to the left. Right arm gets longer. And then come back to center and press yourself back up. All right, so arms straight. Legs can either be parallel or Pilates V. Lift the heels up high. Keeping the arms straight and the sternum pulling back. Arms are gonna reach away. It's your ab rollout or your long stretch, whichever one you wanna call it. Inhale the arms away. And then exhale, pull the arms in. Legs are super strong right now. And you're still working into that pinky line of the arm. Hang in there. It should still feel like those bottom tips of the shoulder blades are pulling apart. Let's do 2 and 1. Now I want you to go out like 3/4 of the way. You're gonna hold here, open the arms out to the sides, bring them back up, and then press yourself back up. You slide out, arms open, they come up, and then pull yourself back up. Extra challenge is, can you still keep those heels lifted? My calves are shaking right now. We open, we go up, and then back in. Let's do 2 more here. Obviously, the further you go out, the more challenging this is going to be. Keep that tailbone long, and then come all the way up. All right, heels come down, shake it out. Now, walk yourself forward to where your hands are more in line with like your eyebrows or your eyeballs, all right? So from here, we're gonna bend the elbows, hands go back towards our temples, and then press yourself back up. So it's our tricep press. Think of those elbows just staying on top of a table or an even plane. And also think about when the elbows go bent, right? There's your plank. So the shoulder blades are still pulling apart. So you've got a slight protraction there. Hopefully you're feeling the back of the arms at this point. Let that booty come with you. Let's do 2. And last one, find those arms straight. Take a couple steps back, lift the heels up high, lunge out with that right foot, and then press yourself back up. Lunge out with your left foot, and then press back up. So just going back to those reverse lunges. Now that our upper body's a little bit more warm in this position, think about the arms kind of guiding you out in a way. So we're not just falling into that foot. It's like the end-to-end ultimate range of your long stretch. Let's do 4 and 3. How's that heart rate? 2 and 1. Now, everybody step out with your left foot. Go all the way out. We're gonna do that side bend over to the left. But now keep going and then twist all the way around like you could touch that back foot. Take a big breath in and then exhale, come back to center. Press yourself back up. Same thing on the other side. Back leg can be bent, it can be straight. It's wherever you find the deepest stretch. Big breath in, and then exhale back to center. Press yourself up. All right, let's turn around again. Face your anchor point. Let's bring the feet wide. Let's go wide with the feet, starting in parallel. Elbows are bent, elbows in front of your ribs. So from here, just lunge over to the right and try to find a stretch on that left inner thigh, and then stand it back up. Lunge over to the left. Keep that right pinky toe down, and then up. All right, so these side lunges, think of them as your side splits from the reformer. So that arch, or those arches, they stay kind of lifting up and activated. Let's do 3, and 2, and 1. Now come all the way up. Now we're gonna do our Cossack squat, all right? So lunge over to the left for me. All right, and then from here, your right toes are gonna lift up. You're gonna twist those toes up to the floor, or up to the ceiling, sorry. So you're on your heel, and then bring the foot back down, and then come all the way up. I lunge over to the right side. Left toes, they lift up, they look at the ceiling, they come back down to the floor, and then back up. All right, over to the other side. Toes lift, kneecap looks up to the ceiling. They go back down, and then up. So we're going from kind of a parallel to an external rotation. And be kind to yourself. If, a bigger range doesn't feel good to you, then don't do the big range. I can tell you right now, my left leg is a little funkier than my right. Let's do 1 more each side. Lunge over. And then up. Last one here, lift the toes. Really feel this spiraling in the hip, and then foot comes down, and then back up. All right, so keeping the handles in your hands, let's step the feet apart a little bit, and now straighten the arms up to the ceiling. So find that position where your ribs can be in and your arms are straight. So if hands are above your body and we're flaring the ribs, back is arched, we're too far. So find this strong connection of your arms to your back. Legs are strong as well. You're gonna lower the arms down. They're gonna stay straight as they lift all the way back up. You slowly lower down and then punch back up. So what I mean by arm connection to the back is think of the arms connecting at your upper back rather than your shoulder and your neck. If it does get to be too necky for you, arms can go more at like a T or a Y as opposed to straight up. Lift the ears off the shoulders, especially as those arms come up, and try to keep tension on those straps. This is one of those that I can go from 0 to 100 real quick. Last one. Let the arms go straight out in front of you. You're gonna squat down and then just stand it back up, driving the pubic bone forward. We squat down and up. Grip is strong right now. Let's do 2 and 1. Now as you stand up, arms come up to that eye fly. Arms come down as you squat down. It's one movement. Think of your arms or your back. That's what's lifting you up out of the squat. And when those arms start to get tired, right, legs will take over. Try to keep the arms as straight as you possibly can. Whew. Let's do 2. Whew. And 1, come all the way up, reach the arms forward. Find that forward fold. And then same thing here. Just kind of sway the hips, bend the knees, sway the arms, and go ahead and just roll yourself all the way up. All right, we're gonna turn back around now, facing away from your anchor point. Now, I know the straps are a little short here, so you should be able to go full range. So hands kind of in line with your shoulders, legs are zipped up here. Lift the heels up high if you'd like. Bend the elbows wide for your chest press, and then press yourself back up. Make sure those straps are not rubbing up against you. And puff up that chest as the elbows bend. Use that exhale to push the floor away. Right, the imaginary floor, the straps. And that arm's going straight, ribs pulling back, right? That's your teaser. Let's do 3. How you doing? And 2. And 1. Now, you're gonna do a baby lunge forward as your elbows bend wide, and then press yourself back up. Baby lunge, go into a deep, deep chest opening, and then press yourself back up. So the leg is just assisting this deep stretch, or this deep chest press. It's if you were doing these on push-up bars or dumbbells. Whew. I am feeling things. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Awesome. We are going to lengthen our straps down to where your handles are about mid-shin, and we're going to come down to the mat. All right, get yourself set up for planking because we are getting right into it. So feet go into the cradles, hard flex of your feet. Unless your straps are so long, right, you have to keep your toes pointed, right? Do what works best for you. So let's come down to the forearms to start. Make sure you can extend your legs back behind you. You're not gonna kick the door if you have that anchor. So drive the pinky side of your fist down into the mat and think of kind of pulling apart on the mat so your upper back engages. From here, we straighten the legs back out. You're just gonna hold strong in your plank. Think of your pubic bone coming to your navel, the base of the ribs lifting up away from the floor. Now you can stay here with this, or you can bring one knee in as you pike the hips up, and then straighten the leg back out, hips lower down. Other knee comes in, a little pike, and back out. Continue to alternate. You gotta keep pressing down through that straight leg as well. Use your exhale. You got 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and lower down. Take your feet out of the straps. We're gonna do a couple rounds of these planking to hamstring curls. So take your heels into the cradles. Now with being on a door anchor, it is definitely way harder with these hamstring curls. So get to a position where of course you feel challenged, but also to the point where you can do these. So I'm gonna pull away from the door a little bit here. I'm gonna find tension down and through my heels. Arms, press them down. Take a big breath in, and then on your exhale, drive your hips up and then lower back down. Now, if you do have the door here, you can use it for assistance, all right? Just like you would on the wall or the foot bar. So when you're lifting those hips up, try to keep your back flat. And you're just tapping your hips down and then driving your pelvis up. Hug those thighs together, even though your feet are apart. Tension out of your neck. How those hammies feeling? Can you pull your heels in a little bit closer? Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Lower down. Go ahead and take your feet out of the straps and let's go back to that plank. So I'm going to come up onto my hands this time. If you prefer to be on the forearms, you do it, okay? So hands underneath my shoulders here, and make sure I'm not gonna kick the door. Find that chest lifting up into your back here. Float those legs up to your plank. Legs are strong. Now you can go back to that single knee pike, or you can do both knees in as the hips pike up and then stretch back out. Exhale, both knees in, hips pike up, push into those straps and back out. Use that exhale. Push the floor away. You got 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down. Take a moment. Okay. Let's go back to those hammy curls. So heels are in. Now, if you can, find it to where your legs are either straight or almost straight. So once again, if you're on that door anchor, it is challenging, all right? So press down into those arms. Lift the hips up with straight-ish legs. From here, pull one heel into your seat and then back out. Other heel into your seat and back out. So hips stay lifted as you do this like reverse mountain climber. Dig down through those heels. Super important. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Straighten the legs and then lower all the way down. Now, everybody get to full straight legs. Keep the feet flexed. Reach the arms back behind you. Take a big breath in, and then on your exhale, arms come up, and then you roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. And then round forward, grab onto your legs, the straps, something, but just find a stretch here. Think monkey stretch. You can even do a bend and a straighten of the legs or knees. Are you as out of breath as me, or is this because I'm talking? So go back to straight legs, let go. Arms just reach forward and then just roll your tailbone under, roll down, roll down, roll down. Reach the arms back behind you, pick the arms back up, and then roll yourself up and over. Push down through the back of the legs. This time, don't hold on to anything. Just keep the arms reaching forward, the pinky toes pulling back, and then roll the tailbone under, round back, round back. Arms reach back, they come up and over. Now, when you're here reaching forward, take a big breath in, and then on your exhale, maybe you go a little bit further, and then go ahead and just stack your spine all the way up. And we're gonna do one more round of planking and hamstring curls. Yippee! Okay. Again, you pick either hands or elbows on. This time, we're gonna do that double knee pike, but when the knees are into your chest, you're gonna try to straighten your legs so your hips go straight up to the ceiling. All right, so push the floor away. Send your legs back. Bring the knees in. From here, stand your legs up, hips pike up, bend into the knees, straighten the legs back out. Pull the knees in. Stand into the legs, pike the hips up, bend into the knees, back out. Now, if you're tight, this is gonna be tough. Like it is for me. You got 3 more in you. And 2. Last one. And go all the way down. Take your feet out. Last round of hammy curls. You can always take your feet out of the straps. Know that. All right, heels come in. Find your legs as straight as you can. This time we're gonna do both heels pulling in, all right? So arms at the party, press down through those heels, lift the hips up, pull both heels in, and then back out. Both heels in and back out. Use some force here, right? So it's an aggressive pull in and then glide back out. Pull in, slow back out. Keep driving that pubic bone up to the sky. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Straighten the legs, lower everything down, inch away so you're not gonna hit that wall if you're there. Reach the arms back behind you. Pick the arms up and then roll up. Roll up, grab onto those straps if you can, and then just push your feet into the straps to round through your low back. And again, to find a stretch. All right, so feet are gonna stay here because we're gonna do like a little stomach massage. So grab onto the back of the legs. You're gonna bend your knees in. And I want you to push your legs into your hands, but also pull back with your arms. So lean back a little bit, just like rolling like a ball. And now can you pull your knees in closer to your chest, or rather heels closer in as you rock back a little bit more, and then just rock yourself forward. So you rock back. You're gonna go back to a point where it feels like, I think I might fall back and I think my feet might slip off. That's where I want you going. So find this opposition between belly and upper thighs. If anything, you should be feeling a stretch, maybe in your back. Should feel good after all that planking and hamstring stretch. Good. So let's do 2. And last one, let's find the legs straight. Reach the arms out in front of you. Lift the arms up high, open them out wide to the sides and back behind you. So come up onto like little spider fingers here. You're gonna roll that chest open, sit up uncomfortably tall. Now bend your knees in and then press the legs away. Exhale, knees bend in, and then inhale, press the legs away. And away. Now when you're here, how light can you get into those hands? Notice, at least for me anyways, as my knees come in, I lean back more. Inhale away. Exhale in, inhale away. Now hold with the legs straight. From here, can you just lift the arms up off the mat? They're gonna circle around up to the ceiling and then back out in front of you. All right, arms just stay here. Pull the knees in and then press the legs away. Exhale, pull the knees in, inhale away. Exhale in and away. Now hold here with straight legs. You're gonna lift in the waist and twist to the left. Lift, 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 and then come back to center. Pull the heels in. We lift and we twist to the right. We lift, 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 and back to center. Heels come in and then back out. We lift, reach, open up your wingspan, and then back to center. Knees come in, lift and twist. Reach back, look back, back to center. Knees come in. One more time each side. Push down through the heels, equal weight into your hips, back to center. Legs get longer, arms get longer, and then come back to center. One last knee bend, and then press out, and you can do that forward fold. Okay, so from here, we're gonna do a little handstand prep. So you're gonna come onto your knees, think like just downward dog with a split. So onto your knees, and then from here, for me, I'm gonna have to lengthen my straps just a bit more, maybe just a few inches. And then I'm gonna take both cradles into my right foot. So right from the get-go, my knee is not, I'm barely touching the floor here. So hands are down, left toe is tucked under. I'm gonna push into my hands, push into that left foot, and just kind of hop back, and then lower back down. All right, I want you to get to the point where it's like, oh, I'm already feeling a stretch in my right thigh. So I am here. All right. So feel the base of your ribs lift up away from the floor and your tailbone lengthen. That might feel, or you might get a deeper stretch on that right thigh. All I want you to do is just stretch your right leg back behind you, like you're kicking a door down, and then bend it back in. I gotta scoot a little bit closer. I don't want you feeling this in your low back. So think donkey kick up to the ceiling or up to the handles, and then back in. Now straighten the leg back behind you, and now lean back a little bit so your hips glide back, and then bend everything back in. You should be getting a crazy good stretch on your right thigh. And back in. Last one like this. And back in. Now we're gonna straighten both legs. So push down into your hands and your left foot. And now straighten both legs, pike the hips up, and just pause here. Find a stretch. Feel that right hip drop down a little bit more, and then bend everything back in. Oh, that right thigh is feeling work, but it's also feeling a stretch. Straighten the legs up. Drive the chest through that left shin, and then back in. Again. Up, and back in. Now we're gonna stay up and play, okay? So press yourself up in a way, and now your left heel, lower it and lift it. Lower it and lift it. Keep the pressure into the straps. And remember, your arms are connected to your back. So check your neck. We have 3 and 2 and 1. Bend everything in and go ahead and just let those straps fall off your foot. And let's do the other side. All right, so go ahead and hop yourself back. Every side is different. All right. So from here, drive that left heel back and then pull the knee in. So if you're really tight, the tendency is the leg maybe wants to go out to the side or crossing the body. So find that slight inner thigh connection and that dropping of the left hip down towards the floor. And please feel to readjust. I'm sure you're noticing I'm doing a lot of adjusting here. Check your neck. All right, so now you're gonna straighten that leg out, and then we're gonna just lean back and then bring everything in. It is such a great stretch, but I'm definitely feeling work in that left thigh because it stays, right, pressing down into the strap and then back in. I need one more on this side. I'm extra tight here. And then back in, okie dokie. So now we do that downward dog with a split, all right? So pike the hips up, see where your range is, and then bend everything back in, all right? Pike the hips up, and then back in. I gotta move in just a bit more. So on this next one, pike the hips up, lower the heel down, and lift it up. Keep driving your chest to that right shin. That's gonna deepen the stretch. And keep that left leg reaching long. You have 3 and 2 and 1. Bend everything in. Let those straps fall off the foot. All right, so now we're gonna turn around, head towards your anchor point. And then from here, let's just bend the knees. Feet are about hip socket distance apart. Hands can either be into the handles or the cradles. From here, just go ahead and roll the hips up into bridge. And then just pause here. Find your long line. Release any tension out of your neck. And now let your right hip drop down and then lift it up. Left hip, drop it down and then up. And just do this little twisting of the hips, keeping the knees reaching away from the crown of your head and a tripod connection down through your feet. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Find center and then just melt as your spine comes all the way down, 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 okay? So I think we did this in the last video. We played around with a little short spine or an inversion. So make sure the weight's gonna go into your shoulders and not your head and neck. So bring your knees into your chest. You still have the anchoring down through the arms into the straps. And then from here, send your legs out to a working angle. Find Pilates V. Legs are gonna come up and over. So find your rollover or jackknife-ish position. Feet can come onto the wall if you have it behind you, but make the arms long, create space between your chin and your chest,
And now bend your knees in towards your shoulders. Pull your heels to your seat as you roll down like a little ball. Roll down, roll down, roll down. Once your tailbone hits, send the legs away. Legs go up and over. Bend your knees into the shoulders. Roll your tailbone down, 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 down. And then straighten the legs out. Legs go up and over. Bend the knees in towards your shoulders. Keep lifting the hips. Can you keep your feet over your face as you roll your tailbone away from your feet? Stretch the back of the legs and then pull your heels to your seat and then send the legs out to your working angle pause here. From here, can you roll yourself up into your teaser and then pause here? Feel that wrap through the back of the legs and then roll yourself all the way down. Legs come up and over again. Knees come into the blocks. Roll the tailbone away from the feet. Legs go straight. Then pull your heels to your seat. Now, keep your tailbone down, knees into the chest for just a moment. Imagine you had your leg springs on, or right there was a spring attached from your heels to your seat. I want you to open up the spring as you send the legs away. So feel your seat kick on when you do that. Keep the seat engaged and then roll yourself up, 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 up. And then from here, roll the pelvis under, round back, round back. Go all the way back, legs come up and over. Bend the knees into the blocks. Roll the hips away from the feet. Pull your heels to your seat. Find that footwork leg spring connection here. So push the legs out into resistance. Roll yourself up. Find your teaser here. Can you bend the elbows wide and then straighten the arms? Bend the elbows wide. Woo! And straighten the arms. Elbows go wide, straighten the arms, and then roll back. Legs are gonna lower, upper body's gonna lower, go all the way down. Go ahead and flex your feet. Find energy down through the back of the legs. And then from here, roll yourself all the way up. Hinge forward. Feel that lift up throughout out of your back. And then circle the arms around behind you. And then just lean back. Lean back till you feel a stretch. And then roll yourself forward. Sweep the arms around. Stack the spine up tall. And then roll yourself back. Round back, round back, round back. Head hits the mat. Use your exhale. Push into those straps if you can to roll yourself all the way up. Circle the arms around behind you. Now lean back. Lean back. And now I want you to just lean forward just like halfway. Reach your right arm forward and now lean back. So think like saw, push through bar, all the things. Now lean yourself forward a little bit, windmill the arms. Right arm reaches back. Equal weight into the hips. Can you look back at that right hand? Can you open up the right shoulder a bit more? And then come back to center. Circle the arms around. All right, we're gonna come back up to standing. All right, so with your straps, when you come up to standing, they're going to come back even shorter than when we had it in the beginning. So for a lot of straps, they have like a little marker here, a diagonal line. Just bring them up shorter than, or to kind of that line, all right? So either way, right, the straps or the handles are just kind of hanging around mid-thigh-ish. You can always scoot further away from your anchor point, all right? So from here, elbows are bent, elbows are in front of your ribs, legs are zipped up together. Make sure you got room behind you to lunge back, all right? So bring your right knee up into your chest, find balance here, step your right foot back, come back into that lunge, and then drive the knee back up, and then place the foot down. We're just gonna do a few of these, alternating. Drive the knee up, and then back down. Right knee comes up, you lunge back. Make sure that forward knee is bending over the center of your foot, right? So we're not back here, we're not all the way forward, center of the foot, and drive the knee up, and then back down. Just check in with those things. I always like to take first few reps of things relatively slow, like, okay, is my body connecting? Oftentimes, right, that's where we get hurt, is when we just jump into the deep end right away, even at an advanced or intermediate level.
All right, one more on each side. Back up. All right, so everybody bring your right knee into your chest or tabletop, whatever you want to call it. You're gonna lunge back. Find your lunge here. From here, we're gonna lift off, arms reach forward, back leg lifts up. Come right up into your parallel arabesque. So right hip has gotta go down a little bit. From here, allow the elbows to bend. You dip back, go right back into that lunge. Lift off, reach forward, and then back down. Now, as you come up into this airplane, arabesque, whatever you want to call it, keep a soft bend in that standing knee. It's up to you how high you want to lift that right leg up, but make sure the right hip stays reaching down just a little bit. And I'm hoping you feel just something different when you make those things happen. Whew, how is that standing leg? We've got 2 and 1. Now lean forward. Now from here, now allow that right hip to lift and open and then lower it back down. Now open up that right hip. Can you reach your right arm up? Almost like you're coming into a star position. And then arm comes down, hip comes down. But now the right hip is gonna drop down even more like it's coming to your left inner thigh. Upper body twists, and then right hip lifts. Open everything up, and then back down around. You kind of spiral into yourself. Arms reach to the left. It's a little balance challenge. So for these personally, my back leg can't lift up too high, especially as I twist to the left. But you should be feeling crazy work in your standing leg. Let's do one more here. Lower it down. And now find center. Go back into that lunge. Go back forward. Now we're just gonna twist in the opposite direction. So when your right hip opens, can you twist your upper body to the left a little bit? Right hip drops down, upper body twist to the right. Much smaller range. We're not gonna do a lot of these. Elbows can be bent or straight, it's totally up to you. Last one here, hip comes down, twist to the right. Hip lifts, you twist to the left. Find center, lunge down, and then come all the way up. Whew. Got a whole nother leg to do. We are blessed. All right, so left knee up into your chest. Find your long line. Lunge back. From here, you shoot forward. Remember, soft bend in your standing knee, and then lunge back. Okay. Every side is different. Take your breaks if you need. I know for me, this is definitely my weaker side. Try to keep those hips square to the floor as your back leg lifts or as you reach forward. And also too, if a side is tighter than the other side, you might feel like, oh, I can't move as far. Totally fine, right? We do what we can with the body that we have today. So everybody lunge forward, open up your top hip, allow that arm to sweep around, and then you twist to the right, hip dips, and then twist around and up. Ooh, my right hip is talking to me. And then up. Push into those handles again. You can have bent elbows or straight arms. Try to keep that floating leg strong. Oh, that right hip is just, ooh, season up a little bit on me. Hang in there. Don't let me stop you. Let's do 2 more on each side. And then airplane around. Last one here. And then around, stay long. Find center. We lunge back. We go forward. And then we spiral the other way. Oh my goodness. So hip goes in, We twist the opposite direction. Hip lifts, other way. Oh, we need this side work so bad. As tough as it seems. Last one here. And then back around, square yourself off. Lunge back one last time and then step it all the way forward. Let's go right for that figure 4 stretch. Ankle over the knee, hold on for dear life. You're gonna squat down. You can either hinge forward, sit the hips back. It's wherever you feel a deep stretch, the deeper stretch. All right, other side. I don't know about you, but my right leg feels like it's gonna fall off. And we'll do another kind of hip opener at the end of class. All right, so kind of a finisher here. Think of your hanging pull-ups from the Cadillac. So let's start with your arms straight. You're leaning back here, okay? So hold on for dear life, pretty please. You're gonna walk your feet in, and as you walk in, you're gonna keep driving your hips up. So think like tabletop from the chair, and then you're just gonna find this point where you're like, okay, I don't really wanna go any further, and then just walk yourself back up. And then obviously if you're attached to the door, you can only go so far, okay? So we're gonna do that a couple more times. Walk your feet in, keep driving the pubic bone up to the sky, and then walk yourself back out. And if you're tight on the top of your thighs, you might be getting a stretch here, or at least just in the front body. Okay, so now we're gonna go down and play. Remember, you got the floor there to fall into if you need. Pinky line, wrap it around, walk your feet forward, okay? From here, let the gaze go back. Roll the chest open, and then nod your chin, find your long line, row yourself up and back down. Row yourself up, back down. Last one, row yourself up, back down. Now nod your chin, roll your spine all the way down, kind of undulate all the way down. Tailbone maybe hits, and then roll yourself back up. Pass through that long line. Go into your extension. Maybe your heels lift, lower the heels down. Come back to your flat back. Row up 1, row up 2, row up 3, and then nod your chin, undulate your spine all the way down to the floor. All right, so from here, if you can, you're gonna lengthen the straps down. Think like down to where you had it for plank. You're gonna come into a Z-sit position. So my left shin is facing my anchor point right now. My left hand is either into start with the cradles first, just in case for shoulders. Right hand comes down into the mat. I'm gonna keep pressure into both hands. All right, so sweep that left arm around and up behind you. And now lift the hips up and then look down at that right hand. And then as the arm sweeps around, your hips lower down. Right arm sweeps up and over. Find that counter stretch. And then it comes back down. Left arm sweeps around. I'm hoping you're getting a nice stretch in that left hip especially. And then back around. Right arm goes up and over. Maybe add a little twist here. And then square yourself off. Right hand comes down. Left arm reaches up and over. Last counter stretch on this side. Up and over. Draw that bottom shoulder out of your ear. All right, let's do the other side. Lots of great work today. I don't know about you, but I am sweating. Left hand down. Right arm reaches up and over. Bend into that left elbow if you need, maybe for a deeper stretch or, I don't know, just to feel something different. Left arm up and over. When you do this counter stretch, think of both hips trying to root down into the mat. All right, keyword think there. Hips come down, left arm goes up and over. Soften that right shoulder away from the ear. Last one here, make it feel good. Look back at that left hand. And then around, last counter stretch. And then back down, and you are done. Nice work today, y'all.